For today's cup of coffee with Scream.
Scream. Double Scream.
We've
Double
had,
shot of Scream.
I think actually we have had enough Scream during this past week. My God.
So it's just a cup of coffee? Is it just like a regular black cup?
Today, well, those were delicious. That's just an essential nutrient. But no, I mean, the energy has been so intense. And it's one of those that one day a week, give yourself a break. We need that. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs that. You cannot go hardcore 24/7 all the time.
No, you cannot. I think that's why God had me transfer phones.
Yeah.
Because social media is so toxic right now.
It can be.
It's so, at least on my side of the internet, it's disheartening, heartbreaking, and it makes you lose faith. It causes you to lose faith.
Find another side of the internet, because people are looking at everything right now in this polarized manner, black and white. I mean, this is in our faces all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not all that there is.
No, that's not all there is. That's why, and I've talked about this before, as far as, no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, the same shit always pops up on your feed, always pops up on your For You page, except for on Twitter. I don't know what Elon Musk has done with Twitter or X, but he has made it so that if you do not want that shit on your For You page, it's not going to show up.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah. But on TikTok and YouTube, no, that's not how it is.
Well, YouTube actually, on mine, and I think it's because, and we have noticed this also, there is such a difference between us watching YouTube on Roku versus my laptop. Mm-hmm. Because that I am old bat. And as far as trying to use a cell phone for all this video stuff, no, it doesn't work well for me.
Oh, I'm talking about even as far as well, are you talking about the laptop or desktop version of YouTube or the Roku version?
I'm comparing and contrasting.
Okay.
That it's with YouTube, I mean, I have my recommendations and I have channels that I've subscribed to. Mm-hmm. But as far as the way that it once was, which was wonderful, mm-hmm. and you would have a variety of things that would pop up that you could choose from. Mm-hmm. You don't anymore. I can refresh the page and refresh, and it will be the same thing.
Now, is that on Roku or the computer version? Yeah.
Both.
Okay.
They are very much limiting people's selections.
They are. That's not a good thing.
Well, I don't think it is. I mean, it depends on what it is, because I'm one of these, I have to be selective. I choose to be selective.
Yeah. Well, see, personally, I have had better luck on the desktop/laptop version.
Right.
Than I have on the Roku or mobile version. Mm-hmm. That's just what I've experienced.
Yeah, on the Roku, we basically have to type in channel names.
Yeah.
And that was the reason on the previous cup, because Kid was on a mobile phone trying to type in and find channel name, our channel. Mm-hmm. And he basically had to type out the entire thing, Orlando's Cup of Coffee with Scream, before he ever found the channel.
Yeah, I did. But
because we are so far down on the food chain, which it may not be a bad thing.
Well, no, I would say that even though we don't have the same subscriber count as her, if you type in a bit Frank, sometimes you will get her channel and sometimes you won't.
Right.
And that's similar to ours. If you type in Orlando's Cup of Coffee or whatever like that, on the mobile version, you won't get it. as much. On Roku, you'll get it more than likely. But on the desktop version, for some reason, it's always 100% as far as Orlando's Cup of Coffee.
Right.
That's it. You don't even have to add the scream to it. It's just Orlando's Cup of, and then you'll find it.
Right. And it's just, I sit and I watch some of the idiocy and I mean true idiocy. And I'm like, damn, this is bad. I mean, we have idiocy, but it's not bad. It's usually in context. Mm-hmm. And so, and I'm not, trying to get on that. I really don't care. I would much rather have quality over quantity any day.
Right. Right.
But it's like the energy has been so intense that everybody needs a break.
Yes.
And that means to give yourself a break, to tell other people, hey, I'm taking a break. Today, I'm not available.
Yeah.
You can turn the phones off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean,
unless you have a flip phone, and then you don't got to worry about it.
I can sit there and tell people, it's like, look, I am not available on this day. And to stick by it. I mean, if it's an emergency or whatever, somebody can come and get me. Mm-hmm. But other than that, no. Yeah. Because I have learned over the years, people will abuse that privilege.
Certainly, they will.
If it's a matter of, I am not entertainment committee, I am not doing the personal assistant thing, I'm not doing anything this weekend.
No. It's like,
or at least
I don't want
day.
I don't want to be in contact with anyone all weekend. I don't want to be in contact with anyone all weekend.
And that's okay. And it's no slight to anyone.
I mean, everybody needs personal space.
They do. They do. And I honestly, if we could get a cat sitter for a couple of days, that would be wonderful.
That really would be. Because we have 13 cats?
We have 13 cats.
Yeah.
Nobody needs 13 cats ever.
Well, we never wanted this many to begin with. We need a vacation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
Yeah.
And to have the option, and that's the reason I've got this little nice Zen water garden as the background, to just be able to go and sit someplace peacefully for a while. That's the reason people would go camping and different things like that. I get it. I get it. My problem has been when I have been camping in the past, I ended up doing all the work. And it's like for a day, I don't just, for a day, I just want to be.
Yes.
I don't want any demands on me. I don't want any responsibilities. I don't want anything other than me taking care of me just for a day. Mm-hmm. And other people can do that too. Everybody needs to do that. If you are in one of these positions in life for whatever reason, that you've got 15,000 responsibilities and that you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, that's where you sit there and you go, God, today I give all of it to you. His shoulders are a whole lot broader than mine. I mean, I know I'm built like a tank, but damn.
You are not built like a tank. But God...
Cast all your cares and burdens upon him, and he will give you rest.
God's the only one who can really deal with it. God's the only one who can deal with all this shit.
And that is exactly right. And we keep a lot of times trying to, inject ourselves into certain situations. Well, if I do, well, if I don't do, if you don't do, and if that one doesn't do, and if that everybody blah blah blah, and it ends up screwing you into the ground.
Yeah. And
will make you very mentally imbalanced, unbalanced. And that was something I was going to get a picture of the little rock balancing, and there used to be a picture that you could find easily, and it was 3 rocks just balanced. Mm-hmm. Oh no. People can't even do that. They've complicated rock balancing.
Have they added to the rocks? Like
Absolutely.
how many rocks are on the... Is it
And
like
you gotta do
8
it this
now?
way. You got to do it this way, and you got to make sculptures with it. And I am the best rock balancer in the world.
Now wait, from what I remember, rock balancing was you stack one on top of another.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. But there are people that have made even that a competitive thing. That, or it's some kind of status thing. Oh, look at me. I can balance. You can only balance 3. I can balance 12.
No, it's like, oh, you can balance
Good
3?
for you.
You can only balance 3? That's fucking awesome.
It's like, good for you that you can balance 12 rocks.
Mm-hmm. But
some of us don't want to balance 12 rocks.
Personally, I say give praise to those who balance 2 rocks, or 3, or 4.
It is a matter of going back, personal responsibility and accountability. Pick how many rocks you want to balance.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody. You don't have to talk in binary code just for a day.
Mm-hmm. How many?
If somebody doesn't get what you're saying, if they don't want to listen, all they want to do is that they're waiting for you to shut up till they can speak, which you know that they're not listening, because that's not how it works. The brain can't do 2 things at once like that. Mm-hmm. Damn it, I've been schooled in this. And if somebody needs a piece of paper, I can provide that.
Is that psychology?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You're very well schooled in it.
And it's like,
you know your shit.
I do. And I've lived it. And it takes practice to sit there and truly listen to somebody.
Yeah. It truly does.
Most people don't want to take the time to learn the skill.
And most people are distracted as well. So they never even bother to learn the skill.
Because most people are so out of touch with themselves, they don't know that there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then if somebody says, hey, you got a problem, what do? They get offended.
They get offended and they start projecting and all that shit.
Sure.
They start shifting blames rather than looking inwards at themselves.
Yeah, because regardless of what happens in this ride that we're on, that all of us bought a ticket for, the adventure pack.
You know, I was just talking to God about that.
At the end of the day, all the other stuff, it is about your journey with God.
Yeah.
Your discovery of self, your discovery of spirit, that relationship with God. The rest of it is just, there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, when you have that balance within self, excuse me, if you have that balance within self, you're not as easily swayed one way or the other.
No, you're not.
You've got a lot of people that if somebody comes up and asks them a question about why they do what they do or believe what they believe, they don't know. And that's why they get angry. Yeah. Because it made them look back in self and go, how dare you question me? Mm-hmm. The truth will stand on its own.
A question: what if someone is getting angry, but it's not at the person who asked the question, but it's at themselves because they don't quite know how to express that, and they don't know how to put that in words as far as why they feel it, how they feel it.
You have a lot of people that are incredibly emotionally immature.
Yes.
And you have people who do not know how to even identify what they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Palace Pepper on X today about some of these things. And that was one of the things when I was counseling, that I had these, you can find them online very easily. What?
Huh? I'm praying. Hold up. That's it.
Okay. And you can find these little things online that little emojis, little faces
Yeah.
that help you identify emotions. And to teach the children, and sometimes adults, this is what, there is a difference between being mildly irritated and having a rage.
Yes.
But some people don't understand that. And it is a difficult thing to try to edify somebody about self. And it takes time. It takes effort. But that was one of the things, as far as one of the books that I had read, do not put in more effort than the client is willing to put forth. That is what drains a lot of counselors and therapists and pastors and whatever else.
Basically having clients that are energy vampires.
Well, it's just one of those, if you are trying to teach someone who does not want to learn, you're wasting your time.
Right, 'cause someone has to be willing to learn and grow.
Yes. And that's just like the individual, and that this was a matter of spiritual counseling. 26 years. Being asked the same questions, me giving the same answers because it was the correct answer. And at after 26 years, to sit there and go, I can't anymore. Because this person was an energy vampire. They really didn't want the answers. They weren't looking for answers. They were looking for that energy fix. And there's a lot of people that are identifying energy vampires in their life. There's a lot of people that need to understand that they are energy vampires. A lot of these people do it very much unconsciously.
Yeah, it's not that they really intend to be that way. It's that, like you said, subconsciously.
Right. And the reason as far being psychic vampires is that their own life force has become so foul that it cannot sustain them. If you cannot sit comfortably with yourself, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And it is a matter of identifying those problems. And then working forth to have a solution to those problems so that you can learn to have balance.
Question. Would you mind giving examples as far as what some of those problems may be?
That could be, the possibilities could be endless. That is dependent on the individual. For some of them, it may be that they did not get their needs met when they were a child. To go back and identify that, and Robert Phoenix it was called Astro Dads, and if I remember, I'll put a link in that. And he was talking about the Leo child yesterday with the young man that he co-hosts, or they have whatever it is, the two of them talk and discuss these things. And Robert has an amazing amount of information. He does. He's just one of those people.
Yeah.
And he has worked to get the information. It's not like it dropped down to him from on high.
No, he worked.
He studies.
Yeah, he worked real hard for his information,
Sure.
and he is a well-learned man.
Yes, and he's been blessed with the ability to remember things.
Yeah.
And to, connect dots.
I want that blessing to remember things.
And so they were talking about the Leo child, because the young man had recently had a daughter that had been born to him that's a Leo.
Wicked. That's
and so
cool.
The guidance that Robert was able to provide about when somebody is a Leo or Leo rising and different things like that. And he's done other signs. They're going through all the different signs per episode. And it's a relatively new show, so you can go back and catch up on some of these things. And it made me realize, when he was talking about part of the lesson of this life is to learn to deal with the opposite of your sun sign, which mine would be Aquarius. And I'm like, well, shit. To learn to face that. And the opposite of Aquarians have a tendency to be very distant and a lot of times very cold, very aloof.
Yeah, they can be there 1 minute, and then the next minute, if you try to get in contact with them, it's no go.
Yeah. That was my father. And so to work through things, well, these are spiritual lessons that we're supposed to learn. The answers to some questions may not be on this earth. And to be okay with not knowing. Now, me, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
But that's where my faith comes in. I'm not asked to know. I'm asked to trust.
Yes. Yes.
And so, over the years, when little things arise, to sit there and deal with them then. Don't put them off. Don't sit there and go, oh, well, that's not... even if somebody makes you feel angry, to sit there and go, why did that make me feel angry? Is there validity to what they're saying?
Right.
And because it is through that work that you don't allow other people to emotionally control and or manipulate you.
Yes.
And I can do that pretty good, except for family, except for close family.
Well, I don't think that's just you. That's just a you issue. I think that is an everyone situation, because it is very difficult to set boundaries, be like, hey, don't talk about this in front of me. Mm-hmm. Don't say this kind of stuff to me, around me, please. Mm-hmm. It is a very difficult thing to set and keep in front of family, because they're closer than if you were to say the same thing to some random bystander on the street.
Well, random bystander on the street, there's no emotional investment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or attachment, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But also within that, there are a lot of family members that don't respect boundaries. Mm-hmm. And so that's where you have to be strong enough to sit there and go, okay, now I can either try to deal with whatever this is, or I can remove myself from the situation.
Yes.
To go in a different room, go outside, smoke a cigarette, or do whatever. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yes.
Because you cannot expect everybody else to cater to one specific thing also.
Right.
To sit there and go, okay, this is my issue. I own this issue. This is not everybody else's issue. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, if it is a family meal or whatever, and you're like, hey, I would prefer not to talk politics, because that has been a thing that has been a dividing factor amongst people for years now.
Yes, exactly. Because politics is one of the main things that the enemy uses to pin people against each other.
Sure.
And so it is not a good thing.
Well, within this, even as far as political parties, why do you support who you support?
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of people that's acting like it's some kind of popularity contest or bullshit or something, and it's just like, no.
Yeah. And although this time that we're in right now,
oh yeah,
I thought it was like this like 4 years ago. No, it's nowhere like it is now.
Well, and it's just
it's shocking and very, very eye-opening to see people's true colors during this time.
That is one of the things, and I think that was what Palace Pepper, and you can follow her over on X, and Robert Phoenix is over there. I think his is Astro Phoenix on X. And that they put up these different things, these different planetary alignments. And I'm one of these going, please explain this like I'm 5. That different, it's bringing out things in people. Mm-hmm. And I have to put everything in language that I can understand. And we are, we've got lines in the sand.
We do.
Clear-cut ones.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very much.
And, that what was, as far as Robert Kennedy Jr. today, him dropping out of the race and saying that he was supporting Trump. And that has, heads were exploding. But within his own family, people coming out against him.
Who?
Oh, he had siblings coming out against him and other things and stuff like that. And this is what happens when you go against the herd.
Yeah. Go against that hive mentality.
Uh-huh. Sure. And we're seeing a lot of that. But
is that just the difference? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but is that the difference between spiritual family and blood family?
Sometimes yes. Sometimes yes.
Okay.
Because just because you have shared DNA with someone does not mean that they're out of your soul tribe.
Right. Okay.
That you could have been placed there to learn different lessons and stuff.
Right.
And that was, prayers, lots and lots of prayers for everybody right now.
Yeah. Everybody needs prayers. And I think God even says, pray for your enemies.
He does. He does. And sometimes the prayer, when there are people that have harmed millions, and there are people that have harmed millions.
Mm-hmm.
And to sit there and go, God, you do what you need to do. I lift this person up to you.
Yes.
That's it.
Amen.
It is not my responsibility to ask God to forgive somebody else. Did Christ do that? Yes. I ain't him. He is the example. But as far as me asking God to forgive somebody that I do not know personally of their wrongs and stuff like that, now that is for that person that has harmed millions. That is between them and God. At the end of the day, it's all a personal relationship.
Right.
Personal accountability, personal responsibility. There'll be no bullshit. Nothing will be hidden. That's a very sobering fact. And most people don't want to think about it.
No, you're completely right about that. That is true. People don't want to think about that.
This is part of the 12 steps to confront yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And to work through the shit. Because you got two choices there. Life or death.
Isn't that the basis of shadow work?
Sort of. It's Carl Jung-ish. You're getting in the weeds on me. It's just, we're talking 12 steps right now.
Yeah. Just asking a question.
Yeah, I get it. But it's a matter for a day. I'm going to let everybody take care of themselves. I'm going to let everybody entertain themselves. I'm going to sit someplace quietly. I'm going to drink coffee. I may read about aliens because there's been stuff about that's being brought to the consciousness.
Oh, like the LA stuff?
Huh?
California
Oh, yeah, there's
stuff?
lots of other stuff going on. But if they land tomorrow, what can I do about it? Nothing.
Yeah. There's nothing really you can do about that. Shit's going to happen no matter what. No matter what.
And that's where it goes back each and every day for me to the Serenity prayer. I keep it on my laptop.
Yeah.
God grant me the serenity. Let me pull it up here. To accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That wisdom is discernment.
Yeah. In Jesus' name, amen.
So everybody, just take a day, breathe. If you want to go for a walk, I mean, here the leaves are starting to change. Breathe. Drink you a cup of coffee. Do something that helps you heal, relax, let the rest of the world take care of itself. Let other people, if they're adults, let them take care of themselves for a day.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been also sort of, what was it? Burnt out all day.
For years.
Yeah, for years. But it's like today you're just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I think there's a lot of people that it's just like, yeah, you cannot go high octane for years without it damaging you.
Yeah.
And because that I have had to go high octane for so many years, that is what has caused my body to break down.
Yeah. That could be it, yes.
Because there are real world consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, just for a day, I'm going to sit or sleep. I may sleep.
And
Either
you know
way.
What? Either or, it's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. As long as there's not blood, protruding bone, fire, anything like that. It's like, no, somebody else can deal with it for a day.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
If you need to back off from everything, from the world, back off.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to God. Take some time to... When was the last time that you spent time with God? I'm not asking you specifically.
Yeah.
When was the last time that you spent some time with God? Go spend some time with Him. Back off from the internet. Back off from the news. Just spend some time. Be in this moment. Be like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
That
Being
I am
grateful.
Yeah. That I am in this position that I am now, wherever I may be. That I am safe. I have food. I have shelter. I have water. I have other drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
when
you.
When you start counting the blessings.
That's like, we are so blessed.
Sure we are. We truly, truly are. So just for a day, refocus, reframe. If you cannot sit comfortably with self, find out, relearn who you are.
No joke, a lot of the people that are not comfortable with sitting with themselves, they have demons that they need to take care of.
That could be, yeah.
And I mean that both literally and or figuratively.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a matter of they don't like themselves.
Mm-hmm. And to find out what it is that they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And to make changes. If it's that inner child that did not get nurtured, you're an adult now. You can nurture that inner child.
Yes.
This is why we stress a lot of times as far as the importance of play, the importance of humor, different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
You can make toys out of sticks and rocks.
Sure you can.
I think that's pretty...
We did it for many years.
I still like to do that. It's fun for me, making toys out of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, imagination.
Mr. Potato Head. When
Real
you actually...
potatoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you'd forget them in the corner and then they would rot.
Yeah.
Just stink up the whole place. But they were still fun.
Yeah. So is that your final thoughts?
My very final thought is I would like to get my hands on an original Mr. Potato Head set. Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head set with the spikes.
Make your own. You can do that. You really, really can. If you've got toothpicks, you don't even have to have glue. You can draw whatever and just, tape on the back of the toothpick.
Do you remember the evil potato?
Not right offhand, no.
I did that when I was a kid. I drew faces on the potatoes.
That'll work. Just whatever. Bubble bath.
I love a bubble bath.
Mm-hmm. So, if you've had experiences with the paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, tinfoil hats, spiritual warfare, if you would like to share your victories, if you would like for us to pray for you, you can put that in the comment section. That, or you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. I think I'm caught back up on my emails right now.
You're caught up finally?
I think so. It took a while.
Well, it's
one of those things.
That's good.
It's one of those things.
I could not tell you the last time I actually checked my email. At least thoroughly.
Yeah. So, are you going to do your spiel?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
If you like this video, check her out on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube. Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also leave a comment, like, share, and most of all, subscribe. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Rolanda, COCWS. I know yesterday I fumbled. I was messing with my flip phone. I'm still excited about the flip phone. Leave me alone. Leave me be. I love it. I love the flip phones.
Oh, yes. He's
But check her out on
very
BitChute,
excited.
Rumble, YouTube, and X, previously known as Twitter.
Yeah. So I may be on there some tomorrow or the day that this comes out, because we're recording on Friday evening,
Mm-hmm.
and it may be the next day before I get back to you. But I'll probably check in on there at some
And if
point.
so, that's okay.
Yeah, know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated, and that includes yourself.
Yes.
If you would not treat anybody else the way that you're treating yourself, you need to refocus.
Mm-hmm.
Show yourself some love,
Yes.
compassion, grace,
Yes.
forgiveness, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.